Hi everyone, Aidan here with etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at and showing you how to install these liftgate lift supports from Atlas Lift on our 2015 Toyota 4Runner. They are sold individually, but we recommend installing them in pairs. If you are replacing an old worn out one and you only replace one, chances are the other one's going to be a little bit uneven, and it's just better to have two new ones to ensure everything's moving the same. You have a nitride-coated steel shaft that's going to be corrosion resistant, and the nylon ball and socket joints at the end are going to connect to OEM factory fittings. Speaking of that install process, it is pretty straightforward. Let's check out that replacement process now. To replace the old one, the first thing you want to do is take your new lift, and I'm actually going to open up the tabs on it so that whenever we get the old one off, we don't have to have our second set of hands waiting there on us for too long. So I'm just going to get these pre-opened on either end using a flat-bladed screwdriver. This one's a little trickier. If you have a narrower screwdriver, that may work better. But just pry them up and get them pushed towards the end. So these locking tabs will just slide forward like this, not all the way off, but that'll open up the joint inside. And now we can do the same thing for our old lifts. At this point, we're ready to remove the old one. We'll do the same thing we did before by just removing those clips on the old liftgate using that flat-bladed screwdriver. And before you get it fully removed, you want to go ahead and have a friend come in and help and just support the liftgate here, because once we get this removed, we're not going to have the same amount of support. With both clips undone, we can pull this out of the joint. It might be a little bit stiff, and you might have better luck removing the bottom one first, and then just get that popped off. It might come off a little aggressively, so just make sure you're prepared for that. And we can set this to the side and put our new one in place just like we did the old one. Now, one thing you may have to do is actually get this rotated to fit the proper orientation. It's definitely going to be a little difficult to do. You might have better luck getting one of these in place, clipped in, and then you have a point that's kind of locked in to rotate from. Then if you can just push up on that tailgate a bit, Zach, this one should pop in and push that clip back in place to lock it. And then we can just make sure everything's secured and test out the tailgate. You can definitely feel a difference on this initial push down right here. It's a lot smoother. I don't need to put near as much pressure on them. And it closes just fine. Everything's smooth. And same thing for opening here. You can see they're definitely doing their job and working a lot smoother than the old ones were. And just remember, if you have a powered liftgate, test it with that too and make sure everything's working there as well. And I'd say overall, if you are looking at getting these to replace some old worn out supports for your liftgate, whether they're just not operating smoothly or just not lifting like they used to, I'd say it's a good investment. They're easy to replace yourself. You can just do it at home with one tool, and it's going to get your liftgate feeling like new again, so it's not as frustrating when you go to use it. And that'll do it for our look and installation of the Atlas Lift liftgate supports on our 2015 Toyota 4Runner. Thanks for watching.